Hey y'all, how you doing? I just thought I'd make a video tonight about food stockpiles and preps for your food stash. I figure we go over different types. We got freeze dried up here. You got the MRE here. These are a little bit more better, more fancy ones here. And you got good old canned food. All these come in different prices. But no, the price a lot of times will the more you pay, most time longer this stuff lasts is you take like the freeze dried food here, it may lose a little bit of its quality of taste and a little bit of nutrition, but the stuff really don't never go bad as long as you can keep it dry and low humidity place. Um, that's what I like about. We'll start with the freeze dried here and we'll just walk away around. The freeze dried food, they're good for long term storage. You can't go wrong with it. It does cost more. That's the thing with freeze dried. Freeze dried lasts forever if it's stored properly. But that's the thing is it costs a little bit more compared to the MRE or the canned food options here. Freeze dried, it does take a little bit of water to prepare, so you're gonna have to boil some water somehow, and you're gonna have to measure it out, mix it up, put it in there, let it rehydrate. It takes a little bit. It takes longer to cook one of these than it does either of these two options. But with these, you'll get long-term storage and they're a lot lighter compared to these. But with these, they're usually just a single serving. Every once in a while, you get lucky and find these big 2-serving pouches, or once in a blue moon, you'll find a 2.5 serving pouch. Most of the time, guys, when you're looking for calories, you're gonna eat one of these whole pouches yourself, no problem. I like them for what they are. For storage, you can't beat them because they don't really ever go bad. As compared to the MREs, it's good for about 3 to 5 years, depending on how they're stored, and that's about it. They claim they last longer, but I don't really want to change it unless I just have no other choice. Which bring us into the canned foods here. The canned foods, as long as the cans ain't dented and they're sealed properly, guys, they found canned food over 100 years old. The nutritional value may have been extremely low, but it will fill your belly up. It may not taste the best, and it may not have the most calories left in it, but it is something you can eat. As long as the seal ain't broken. Guys, when you're buying canned food store, don't buy it in the can. Just go ahead and let somebody else buy it in the can. You don't want it in your stockpile because there's a chance it could leak or it could be rusted. Canned foods are more affordable than the MRE or the freeze-dried option, and they're more readily available. You can pick these up anywhere. MREs, you're going to be ordering these most of the time for some place. You're going to be most times it's not going to be through XMRE, or I've really been buying these old meals here. They taste pretty dang good, but those like the freeze dry food. To heat these up, these are wet foods. These are dry foods. These are wet foods. You can eat these right out of the bag. I've done it before. Everybody probably has. It's full with them. But no, these got a heater in them. You can heat the food up and warm them up and have a hot meal ready to eat. It's a lot better and it's a lot quicker too than trying to boil water and rehydrate one of these things. But no, the trade-off, these are a little bit more heavier. You don't think it when you pick them up in the store, but I can pack twice as much as one of these as I can one of these. And if I have a way to scavenge and find water and clean it, I'm going to take these every time. But though, while I'm a little bit iffy on water, I'm going to take these, or I'm going to take these oatmeals up here. These oatmeals are really nice. They taste really good. They're just as good as restaurant quality food for the most part. Let's say you're trying to bug in and hold up in an area. Canned foods are the way to go because, guys, let's face it, we eat this stuff here every day. We like it. We know what we like. We know what we don't like. So we're going to be more inclined to eat stuff like this. I mean, as long as that way you won't be not wanting to eat the food you got. Because this stuff, sometimes it's hit or miss. You need to get out there and try it. See if you like it. Because a lot of this stuff, I like it, don't like it. It's like everything. But odds are the canned food, you can go to your local grocery store, save a lot, whatever that is, Walmart. Just go down there, pick up your favorite canned food, and as long as I'm not dented, I mean, yeah, they got an expiration date on them. I'm not saying to eat nothing outside its expiration date, but it will last if you store it properly. And the main thing is, guys, get cans that have a dent-free and have a good seal. And preferably, if you can find it, I know it costs us a little bit more, but if you can find a lined can, for one, it's going to up the life of the food, and two, it's going to up the taste of it. But though, I mean, it's not required. It's just a suggestion. These MREs, guys, they're subject to how they're stored, especially if you're buying them on the surplus market. Make sure if you don't know how they were stored, I just kind of stay away from them. I buy mine new in the case. Yeah, it costs us more, but I know it's been stored properly because I know how I've stored it. I'm not buying it off some surplus dealer who bought it off of another dealer who knows how it was stored. It may have been sitting out in 100-degree weather for a year, and that really takes the life of them down. Ideally, if you're comfortable, these MREs, they're comfortable, but you can freeze them and get a little bit more life out of them. That's the thing with the Mountain House and the other freeze-dried food brands. As long as they're dry and in low humidity, they're good to go. I mean, they'll last easily 50, 60 years. Heck, I'd be willing to bet they'd last 100. These right here are going to outlast you, pretty much. Well, they probably will, but MREs and these old meals and stuff, yeah, they're really good to eat, guys. Don't get me wrong, the food is really good in them. But they're going to have the shortest life as compared to either the can or the freeze-dried food. And really, I know people, they stockpile MREs, but man, you can buy freeze-dried food pretty much for what these things cost nowadays. So if you're going to invest in that, I recommend just, buy a couple of these. They're handy to keep on hand, but don't sink all your money in them. Go ahead and put the big buy in either the freeze-dried food, or if you're planning on staying in your location and not bugging out, bugging in, digging in, whatever, canned food and freeze-dried's the way to go. Now, the MREs, they're nice. You're going to be out scavenging, gone for 2 or 3 days, just throw them in your pack. You got a meal ready to go. These right here, this right here is one of the most sought after MREs. Actually, this is a pepperoni pizza one. It's got a whole meal in this one bag. It's got an entree, it's got sides, and most of the time they got some type of water, like a flavor pouch you can put in your water, and you ain't got to drink this plain old water. Especially if you're using water purification tablets. It's really nice to have something to cut that flavor, them nasty things. But here, guys, these MREs and freeze-dried foods and canned foods, if money wasn't an option, I would stockpile freeze-dried, because as long as it's dry and relatively low humidity, the other way to go. And the Mountain House ones, I like them because they're in Mylar bags, so you ain't got to worry about oxygen getting inside them. Plus, once you open one up, we're not going to open one up today because these are part of my stockpile. They got an oxygen absorbing packet in it, discing pack, that will absorb oxygen, so it helps keeps the humidity down. These right here, these are sealed, so in theory, they shouldn't let nothing go in them. And these right here, guys, they're sealed, but they're not sealed as good as either one of these. Like I said, these are more of a long term, and then more like your everyday diet in a small emergency, like say like power out for a couple of days or something, nothing major. These canned foods are what you're gonna want, because it's what you're used to eating, and it won't make your digestive tract readjust to it. I know I eat some of this stuff every once in a while just keep my gut used to it, but some of you guys are just starting out. I know money nowadays don't go as far as it used to. That's what I always recommend for the guy or gal that's just starting out. For y'all to go ahead and get your canned foods bought up first. Canned foods and your water stockpiles first before you buy your long term. Because short term is more likely what you're going to end up using. Long term is nice, but guys, you don't gotta have it. I mean, yeah, you gotta have it, I guess I'll just say. But you're more likely to use your short term stockpiles before you will your long terms. And plus, if the freeze dry foods, you gotta, the water you stockpile, you gotta factor that in. Because it's going to take 2 or 3 cups to cook one of these, as opposed to just opening one of these and eating it right out of the can if you got to. And the MREs, they're just like a canned food, but they're not as durable, nor do they got the shelf life of a canned food. These right here, at the most, if stored right, you're going to get 5 years out of them. And these right here, yeah, they got a date on them, but they last a long time. I know it takes a lot more room to store these as compared to these, but when you're just starting out, this is cheaper, it's easier, more accessible. Because you're probably going to be to get the good deals on the freeze-dried food, the MREs, the old meals. You're buying that stuff online, having it shipped to your house. You go to your local grocery store, a lot of times, you can get good deals on your canned foods, guys. I tell people when you're first starting out, your first goal to be get 3 weeks of food and water stockpile. And once you get that, start working towards getting a month. And once you get a month, then start working towards getting 3 months. And once you got 3 months of canned food and water, I'm going to make a video later on about water storage too. And then you can start talking about long term, getting up in that 6 month, 1 year, multiple years. That's when you start talking about mountain house and MREs. MREs are, I hate to say this, they're not as important as your freeze-dried foods, because these are good for, like, if you're out scavenging just for a day or two, throw them in a pack. You're going to be gone a day, 2 or 3 days at the most. Toss a couple of these in your pack. You got a quick, easy meal to warm up and go with, as opposed to having to fight and boil water and build fires and stuff. If you have a lot that you will with these, they got the built-in heater, flameless heater. You can just heat them up. Keep a lower profile, stay hidden, avoid people the best possible. And the canned foods, they're nice. Keep back at your bug in location and or bug out location if you want to store one there. If you got 2 locations, I recommend you keep a small stash at your bug in and your bug out location of all of these if you can, because sometimes it may be a while before you can get to your bug out location. With the food, guys, it's like I said, it takes about 2,500 calories roughly for a full-grown man to operate in a day's time, about 2,100 for a woman. But under them stressful situations, I say it's going to be upwards of probably, I say, 3,000 calories a day for a man, and probably about 28. I say probably about 3,000 calories a day for a man, or 2,800 for a woman. That's just to maintain body weight, because you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be doing more physical labor than you normally would be, up and down all night running security. And sometimes in them situations, something you're familiar with can be a good morale boost, actually. Because if you're stuck eating this stuff, this stuff is good, don't get me wrong, it's really good. If you're stuck eating this stuff and this stuff, so you get in the back of your pantry and you find a canned ham that you used to eat and you like, or a can of Spam, or a pack of veiny sausages, I mean, it's going to be a big morale boost because it's something you're used to. It's going to be like a little small treat to you. These old meals and MREs, they're good, but they're not as good as something we're used to eating every day. So, when you go stockpiling food, I recommend that you start with the canned foods, and then once you get 3-6 months worth of canned food stocked up, maybe even a year if you want to go that far, then you can start looking into getting getting the Mountain House freeze-dried foods and getting a couple like the MREs and stuff stockpiled. Guys, let me go get something. I got something right here that'll be good for this too. You can also buy these food buckets. The food's already in there. They're conveniently stored. You ain't got to worry about mice getting in them or water getting in them. I stockpile these too just for the convenience factor, but this is when you really start getting your stuff together before you even consider buying stuff like this. Like I said, you wanna start out with like the canned foods. Once you get a year's worth of canned foods, a year worth of water, well, I don't say maybe a month or two worth of water, and then you can start looking into buying more higher end items like you, because freeze dry foods is going to be the highest thing you're going to buy food related. And I would go ahead and maybe call the MRE and the oatmeal a specialty item. You ain't gotta have them, but they're nice to have. There's my dog out there barking. Yeah, that's about all I got to say this tonight, guys. Like and subscribe, and always be ready, because you don't never know when stuff may happen with the way things are going nowadays. But I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'll see y'all later on. Bye.